So this is the smoke casting with David, also known as BlazeCasting, here for the it's Gosu Dota 2 Amateur Arena. So shout out to all the viewers out there. Thank you for watching. You guys are great, and we're moving on to the third game of the semifinals between Aquarium and Sven Best Carry. We do see generic bans going out with the Bounty Hunter, Batrider, and Undying this time.
Very understandable bands there. The Undying just doing, being just such an awesome hero in those engagements there. Starting off, I mean, the team fights in the early laning phase, but transitioning more so in, he just became such a monster when you got into that mid game. He heals for so much with that decay. He mitigates so much with the item build that he went for, and along with that, just like I said, the longer the fight goes on, the more devastating he becomes. He heals with every hero kill, creep kill, when that flesh golem is up, and along with the tombstone stacking up those zombies, just so devastating. And they're going to start off, interestingly enough, with the Templar Assassin pickup. I haven't seen too much of her in these matchups here, but obviously she is one of the more powerful solo mid heroes in a 1v1 circumstance, so we'll see how that works out for him.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I honestly really like Templar Assassin the most pickup because just the armor reduction and the huge amounts of physical damage combined with the slow was just a great combo. We used to see Chaos Knight actually going up on Sven Best Carry, so that is and the Rubik once again. So I mean, actually interesting to see if they're going to do the same lineup with the Chaos in the tri lane.
Could be interesting, but Jakiro does get picked up by Aquarium as well as the Sven. Every single time, all 3 games of this best-of-3 series, they've gotten the Sven instead of Sven Best Carry. I mean, it seems like a bit of a misnomer under these circumstances.
It definitely does. I mean, usually don't really care about the names, but just Sven Best Carry, that kind of insinuates that you should pick him. But I guess that's more for the public team name.
Sure enough.
I'm actually not surprised, but sort of intrigued about the bans because we have seen Batrider and Gondar being banned every single game. So I guess I'm not sure if these 2 heroes would see the boost lately or something, but what do you think about that? Any specific reason or just
Well, a couple reasons in mind. Starting off with the Batrider, I would say the biggest reason for that is the fact that he is so good at initiating and controlling the middle lane. Specifically, since they want to go for the Templar Assassin, Batrider is one of the few middle heroes that can contest her perfectly 1 versus 1. You go up against her, stack up those napalms, and once you get a Firefly on her, refraction means absolutely nothing, and you can burn her down even if she sits through meld. So really, if you get the right positioning on her, TA gets destroyed by Batrider, as well as him just having a lot of potential with long-range initiation and things along those lines. The true vision from the Firefly really good too. But as far as the Bounty Hunter goes, it's really mostly about the gank metagame. The fact of the matter is there's so many kills on the board, back and forth team fights all the time. As soon as Bounty Hunter hits 6, he contributes so much to that. The gold advantage from track, and of course him being a ganker in of himself, he's just really good in those kinds of lineups. So it depends on how the heroes play them. I mean, Bounty Hunter pickup isn't an instant win, but it definitely contributes to a gold advantage if you have some momentum, even in even trades.
Definitely, I mean, that's a pretty good reasoning right there. We do see the Puck ban going off as well, and the Magnus ban. Magnus and Titan in this game are being banned. Still seeing some of the standard picks, Queen of Pain once again. Yeah, I really can't say too much about the team tactics right now, but I'm just waiting with eager anticipation for the rest of them.
But Magnus does get banned out there. I'm surprised that the team that picked the Sven actually wanted the Magnus ban. CK doesn't really synergize with him too much. Phantasm's doing all single target damage, usually clustered on one person. Anyways, they can, I guess, attack individual targets, but that just, in my mind, lacks focus. So, along those lines, although Magnus is really powerful as a disabler, and he is frustrating to go up against, especially with a Queen of Pain to help out, I don't know if it would have been the best synergy for what Sven Best Carry has already built with their lineup. But all the same, that's what they're going to go for. One thing I do want to note real quick is Radiant's lineup thus far doesn't have that much as far as Rubik's spell steal. I mean, God's Strength, not nearly as good on the Rubik. I mean, you can stack Intellect to help it out, but then he'll be squishy. And of course, Jakiro's spells, they're pretty strong with the Ice Path and Macro Pyre, but they're not the most devastating thing. They're not a Ravage, they're not a Black Hole. So with that, they're drafting pretty well where they don't have to worry about what the Rubik picks up, except for with this Omni Knight. How do you feel about that?
Wasn't it also Cram who picked up the Omni Knight last game? Or what, last game again?
I believe it was the first game that they picked up the Omni, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a Cram, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Well, really, I mean, Omni Knight has a strong spell for Rubik to steal. I mean, I love Omni Knight, but I'm not quite sure how he fits into the lineup here. I kind of feel like, I mean, looking forward to seeing how it's going to work out, though, because he is definitely a strong laning partner and general supporter. You also see the Shadow Demon pickup. That's a great pickup in almost any game. I mean, just the amount of crowd control, damage boost, slow, purge, everything is just that hero's got it all.
That's definitely, I would say that's definitely a pickup for the Omni Knight Purge. Taking off the Repel, taking off the Guardian Angel, the Demonic Purge being such a really good mechanic to get that off immediately. I mean, instantaneously, you see those two buffs up on the Sven, and you're going to be able to take it off. And that's going to force Sven to pick up, again, a BKB, which is 3,900 gold. You can't spend on like an Assault Cuirass or some other major damage healing items. So along those lines, I think the Shadow Demon is a really smart pickup. As far as laning goes, I would have preferred maybe like a Leshrac to go with the Chaos Knight, but all the same, the Shadow Demon with that ultimate Demonic Purge, I think is going to be a good counter pick.
We do actually see Aquarium picking up Nature's Prophet as their last pick. I'm a bit surprised about this. I did not actually expect them to pick him up. But I guess he's really useful in many sense. I mean, if he can keep a somewhat good farm up without getting caught out of place too much and really just lay down the pressure on all lanes, it's just he is such an annoying hero. So interesting to see how they work that out. If they're going to build him out as a super hard carry or more as a super hard pusher. Last pick for Sven Best Carry coming up. They've got around 50 seconds to think about it.
I'm thinking they're going to go for something unorthodox, kind of a surprise pick, because really they have their lanes decently figured out, and they have the team fight. I think they're going to need to probably go for a strength hero, or at least something with a pretty powerful lockdown stun. Disruptor might be alright, but generally speaking, I think strength would be the best option. But I am curious to see what they're going to be going. They know they're up against the Omni Knight Sven combination, and going to have to deal with that. I mean, every single aspect, except for maybe Nature's Prophet, of Aquarium's lineup is something that you kind of have to always keep in mind. Jakiro in his laning, Omni Knight Sven in their late game potential, and Templar Assassin just with her early aggression, especially if she gets a Blink Dagger or does it later up. So there's a lot of things to keep in mind, and I'm not exactly sure where they want to go with that. But they have, obviously, the entire hero setup. They're going to go with the Mirana, so something unorthodox. One thing I was talking about, 2 games ago, was the fact that Mirana can pick up that Diffusal Blade, and if she does, that could be really, really cool. Going for Shadow Demon with his Demonic Purge and the Mirana with a Diffusal. I mean, that's going to be not a worthless pickup, but it's going to counteract a lot of what he's bringing to the table.
I completely agree on that. Let's see. I was just distracted. Somebody was writing me here.
Alright, so as far as lanes go, most likely Chaos Knight's probably going to be going on a dual lane, but they don't really have a jungler, so I don't know if that's going to be the best option for them, because they want the Queen of Pain solo, possibly the Mirana solo. They could go for aggressive tri-lane. I mean, they could go for the Shadow Demon, Rubik, Chaos Knight, have Mirana solo, have Queen of Pain solo, and kind of go from there. But I don't know if it's going to be the strongest thing. I mean, Shadow Demon is a setup kind of stun. It's not even a stun, it's a banish.
That's a disruption,
but all the same, if you have a banish that sets you up, then why do you need a Chaos Bolt to set up? I mean, he's going to be very good just in the mid-game, trying to do long-range reality risks to start things off, but I kind of feel like Shadow Demon initiates just as effectively as Chaos Knights to start action. And from there, I don't know if that's a bit of a redundancy, but it's still a powerful tri-lane one way or another. I mean, 3 heroes better than 1 or 2, and I think that Towers can still get quite a bit of farm if he is supported by Sprocket and some might, but that's really in their hands what they're going to be going for. While we're at it, I guess I'll go over the lineup real quick, as we do have a quick pause coming on through, as it looks like Mug is hopefully not having the same kind of internet connection issues, but might just need a moment's time. So as far as the lineup goes on Dire, Team Sven Best Carry, we do have Sprock picked up by the Shadow Demon, Talera on the Queen of Pain, which has been just devastating in all these matchups here. But then we also have Towers on the Chaos Knight, Chaos Incarnate this time on the Mirana, and Semi on the Rubik.
Definitely. Let's see. I mean, this time around we do. Yeah, I'm really hoping the Mug doesn't have the same issues as the first game where he was disconnected for something like 10 minutes. So, yeah, I honestly think they're going to roll out an aggressive tri-lane with exactly as you said, the Rubik, Shadow Demon, Chaos Knight, and then Mirana in the solo lane. I kind of like the Mirana pick, to be honest. I was expecting her to get picked up in at least one of the games in this tournament, so this is the first one. See, such a great solo laner, such a great initiator, team fighter. If you can play her. Just a really good all-around hero. And Aquarium, I'm really liking the Omni Knight. Also, really looking forward to seeing if this works out.
One thing I want to comment on is that the Queen of Pain has jumped around like crazy for everybody that's picked her up. On one of the games, it was picked up by Aquarium, and it was played by Toons. But the two times that Sven Best Carry has picked up, one time it was on Chaos Incarnate, and now it has been picked up by Talera. So everybody getting a hand at her, trying her out, and trying to show what they can do with that very, very dynamic hero, jumping around, doing a heck of a lot of damage, and hopefully bringing in a lot of kills. So that's what they're going to be looking for right now with this early smoke gank, as per what they've been doing almost every single game this tournament. Starting off with that smoke, trying to get some early aggression, but so far, I don't know if that 100 gold commitment has been worth it, because they're just kind of...
They always seem to miss each other, so it really doesn't make much sense in that sense, but I don't know. I guess once again we do see the Radiant team going top, Aquarium going top, and Sven Best Carry just going bottom, but not really finding anybody. So,
But they're getting the wards up. That would most likely, in my mind, indicate that it's going to be a tri-lane and bottom with these three here, Sprock, Semite, and Towers. Just because getting this vision out of the Observer ward, it allows them to dive behind the tower or just know the positioning of the enemy at every single moment in time, so that they can play as aggressively as they want to. But all the same, it looks like I'm not sure who's going to be going on the top lane solo. Possibly Omni Knight. I don't know. He's making his way towards the bottom. I really don't know what's going on with top lane. But one way or another.
Nah, me neither, actually. I'm trying to figure it out myself here.
Prophet could work that way. I don't know. We'll see. But nevertheless, it's going to be Chaos Incarnate on the top lane. Maybe just getting a couple waves of free golden experience, as not really going to be contested for a short time period. But Sven going to be farming up on the bottom lane, or at least he hopes so. But nice positioning from Towers, wanting to start some aggression. There goes the 1 second stun. Not going to be enough to get in range for disruption, though, and I think he will be able to get on out of there. Really was banking on that 2 second stun, and cost him a lot of mana for it.
Yeah, he is going to pop a mana pot immediately after. I'm trying to figure this lane out as well. Oh, we do see actually Nature's Prophet on the soul lane. I don't know what to think about that, but I guess that could work out. I guess Mirana, he is probably going to be hit pretty hard pressed.
If he was going to be going 1 versus 3, he could do it just by using the trance to pull. I mean, he's really good at Suicide in general. See a lot of pro gamers use that as a way to get some early experience on him, no problem at all. But yeah, he is going to be not as great in a 1 versus 1 against Mirana. He doesn't really, I mean, none of his skills add into that lane as far as control. So he'll just have to rely on his own last hitting skills to try to maintain it, but even for the time being. So we'll see how that works out.
While I do like Nature's Prophet in the soul lane, I mean, he's a great hero, I kind of feel like he can be weak from time to time, just simply because if Mirana lands one good arrow or he's ganked or something, he has no escape, and he'll find himself dying quite a bit. So really interesting to see how this is going to work out, though.
Sure enough.
Take a look down the bottom lane here. We do see, well, not much action going on. I mean, both tri-lanes are really, really strong, but I guess that they're just farming for now.
Pretty much, not too much on either side. At a moment's notice, just quick reflexes. Either one of them could initiate pretty effectively. Radiant supports are pulled out a little far back because they're trying to make sure that there are no wards in certain positions to kind of call them out right now. They were able to counter ward the dire one that was down in this position to negate that vision. That's been going on rather frequently up on either lane in a number of these games, but they also don't want to make sure that there's none in this position here that's covering the rune, as well as their potential to gank from the side there. So now that they're sure that there's no wards there, they're going to be much more accustomed to wrapping around here and putting some damage out, and that could actually get some good flanks onto the dire lineup.
I definitely agree. I was just keeping an eye on the mid lane right now.
Yeah, Talera is on pretty low life, so she has to watch herself, but KY doesn't really have any opportunity to gap close right there. She can't get in on the action. Interesting putting a sentry ward down there just for the meld, I presume. But
yeah.
Or actually, some skirmish going on bottom. The repel has been popped off. A Warcry going on through, but 1 second stun will delay the towers from falling down. The Purification does a decent chunk of damage to him, but with the Fade Bolt, the stun will not lock him down. They're just going to have to shift targets onto Sprock, and they're not going to be able to stay on top of him. The Ice Path won't be up for another 5 seconds, and although Sven is immune to magic, Towers is back on full life with that salve, and claritying up as we speak. But, yeah, interesting that they put so much into it, but not really anything to get the kills, because again, Omni Knight in the tri-lane, he doesn't have a snare, he doesn't have a stun. They're relying so much on Moogle to set things up, as after the Stormhammer, they really don't have that much disable.
I completely agree. That's also one of the reasons where I do not very much like Omni Knight in the tri-lane, because he is a strong hero, definitely in saving and also damaging enemies, but I just kind of feel like you either need a displacement, disruption, snare, or stun for it to get working, or slow, of course. And he has neither of those, so I don't know. It's probably going to be pretty hard to set kills up for the Radiant team.
But one thing to keep in mind is also keeps Tombs farming. He doesn't really have to worry about his life too much. As long as Omni Knight has mana, he will be perfectly safe in those exchanges. And it's just, they can't really control the lane as effectively, but all the same, at least he's able to get farm. And so Sven is at least picking up a few CS. I mean, only 9, not the biggest deal in the world, but it's helping out. And actually we have almost dead even, some extra denies on Templar Assassin up against that ranged hero. It hurts her a little bit more than it does the melee, as it does reduce more experience gain. But in general, actually starting off Telekinesis, stacking a 1-second cast bolt, not really the best action, and Repel going on through. Soul Catcher not even hitting on the target they were hoping for. And now a Disruption. I feel like all of Dire's spells were wasted there. There's almost nothing beneficial about what they just did.
Yeah, I agree. We do see Chaos that actually in desperation picking up the Robe of the Magi, probably to build an early drum, but just to get that extra mana, because he is just, I mean, one Chaos Ball basically drops him to half mana, so he needs to keep his mana up at all times. Rubik moving into jungle, warding that plate, that's probably pretty smart. See, in the mid lane, not really much happening. I mean, Templar Assassin's really damaging, harassing Talira down. He is in a lot of trouble right now. He can't really move forward.
Yeah.
And does not have any bottle charge, but he has a blink, so if he gets in 200 trouble, he can just blink out.
But yeah, this bottom lane thus far, one thing is, yeah, the Omni Knight gives a lot of turtle potential, keeps the Sven up, no problem at all, but right now with the spell usage that I just saw out of the Dire, this seems a little bit uncoordinated. They really need to get their heads in the game if they want to come out on top of this one, because the win that they got last game was out of sheer momentum. They were just dominating almost every single lane. They were putting out teamfight pressure like crazy, and they just had that potential, but right now they're trying to get Chaos Knight farm. He's doing all right with, you know, the net worth of jumping around 1,500, but all the same, he spent a lot of mana, money on Clarities, and he's just using a lot of spells that haven't really done much thus far, and now he has absolutely no regen left. So here comes the starting off, the Storm Bolt comes on through Rubik, Nature Prop teleporting in, Purification immediately finishes him off. Now the Moonlight Shadow has been popped off, the Disruption delays that Sprout. He does actually rally rip out, but that will reveal him for the time being. Oh, he's in such low life, he's going to come out of the Shadow in just a second, and they want to burn him down, but he's out of range now, juking behind the trees, and he just barely gets out. Really nice ultimate coming out of Chaos Incarnate, picking up at level 6, which I honestly don't see.
That was so close. I mean, what I was about to say before is that I kind of feel like the tri-lane for the Dire team is not really working out in their favor, but the question is, if they split it up, well, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty easy for the Radiant team just to gank Chaos Knight, and if he gets ganked enough, I mean, he's going to get shut down. So I think if that's really the conflict the Dire team are having right now, Sven, that they really are just afraid of losing their farm on the Chaos Knight, which I completely understand. So,
all the same though, he is farming up rather, I mean, at least equivalent to the Sven. So he's picking up a nice amount of net worth right off the bat. And I guess I don't know, as far as scaling, as far as late game carries, how do you feel? I mean, Phantasm does a decent chunk of damage, but if it gets cleaved down, it doesn't really add that much in. So Sven versus Chaos Knight, how do you feel? Actually, a bit of engage going on right now. 2-second stun to start things off, sorry. But there goes the Ice Path. Stormhammer going on through as well. Repel getting picked off the Warcry. Disrupting up to keep him alive. Yeah, Shadow Demon did not want to get hit by that. Oh, big whiff by Talera. Popping the Sonic Wave on Toons, who had the Repel up for just a second or two longer and completely wastes his ultimate. Now, big Wrath of Nature coming on through. Don't know if it'll be enough to initiate. Actually, with the traps, TA coming on in. Nice telekinesis, but the Stormhammer is available. Looking forward. The Ice Path hits on towers, and the Stormhammer, Templar Assassin getting 2 kills out of that once more, but probably not going to get it. And nice, really nice gank. Ending up with 3 kills. Actually, didn't see the Shadow Demon drop down on the back end, but yeah.
I know that was I mean, a great initiation by the Radiant team right there. Aquarium, where you see them dealing with 4 and 0, so definitely have quite the advantage. I was about to say that I feel like I've been watching this Miranda for a little while now, and she is just playing really passively. I mean, if you look at her health, she is getting harassed quite a bit by Nature's Prophet, but that kind of surprises me because she should be able to harass him at least equally back, and she's not really going for any ganks or stuns or anything. So I guess she's just kind of biding her time, just farming. I mean, she's at a solid 30 last hits right now, so doing pretty good with her phase boots up and everything.
So it's interesting, actually. It looks like Chaos Knight is actually transitioning toward the top lane. Knows he can't get farmed down here. Now that there's been so much aggression, and now 4 kills on the board for Aquarium. Chaos Knight just says, screw it, I'm going up top, trying to get farm wherever I can. But he seems indecisive about it. Now he's heading towards mid, and it's like, he just can't get farmed wherever. He's been roaming around for about a minute straight. No experience, no gold, and that's cutting out a bit of the lead that he got as far as creep kills early on.
He's definitely at off position right now. You do see Temporary Assassin middle is level 8, whereas Chaos Knight is only level 4. So he is definitely underfarmed, underleveled, and yeah, I need to do something about that quickly.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of miscommunication that Chaos Knight was up top. Maybe he wanted to try to get a kill on Nature's Prophet, but unfortunately, just at that timing, the Prophet had teleported back to base to heal up a little bit. 1 second stun coming out in tune. So unlucky, but here comes a big Ice Path and Stormhammer going through a beautiful Wrath of Nature. One more hit, Semite will drop down. Now towers will be invisible for the time being, so he will be able to get out of there safely, but still 2 free kills. Really, really good for the Radiant team, and just unlucky. Chaos Knight every single time, 1 second stun after 1 second stun.
Yeah. I agree. He's very unlucky. Not to mention that he is. I mean, there's no doubt the Dire team trialing is really not working out right now. So I suggest I do something else. I mean, I suggest I start pushing top or middle or do something. Get some ganks into that tempo. Perhaps she's getting closer and closer to being really fed. Probably going to pick up her Blink Dagger here in a second. The trialing just didn't work out. I mean, it happens sometimes, but they really lost all momentum. We do see the Radiant team getting annexation in the bot lane here.
Yeah, it's just going to be quick pick off by towers, possibly. The disruption does save them for the time being, but they might have enough to follow up with that Stormhammer. A couple more auto attacks will finish the job.
Oh, yeah.
So might trying to pop off the telekinesis to save him, but too little, too late, and they have to fall back. So 4 people, 4-man Dota down on the bottom lane, and TA actually coming in to flank with that invisibility rune. And now Prophet's just going to fall back out. I thought they might keep on going, but they don't. They want to just say, okay, we have an advantage, and we're going to compound that, but not in an aggressive fashion. We're not going to throw it away. We're going to be very methodical about what we do and kind of go from there. Chaos Incarnate has been farming up free farm thus far, but only amounting to 45 last hits. Not sure how to feel about
that. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I feel like the Mirana is doing okay top, but I feel like she should be a bit more active. I mean, because their entire bot lane is failing right now, and I feel like her presence would be really helpful. But I can't remember. Maybe she just wants to keep pressure on the top lane to farm up. They are probably going for the tactic of letting her be the primary carry now instead of Chaos Knight, because he's really not getting any farm, and he's going to have a really hard time farming. He can't even go jungle because he doesn't have any light steal or anything, so he's not going to be able to jungle. Actually landing a big arrow in the top lane right there, but doesn't seem like he's going to follow up.
Oh yeah, I mean the Starfall does a heck of a lot, and another auto attack, wow, actually bringing him down.
Nice.
Rank 4 Starstorm just doing so much, getting that second hit on him, which is 50% extra damage. And yeah, we'll be able to bring him down, but all the same, there was good initiation on the middle lane, starting out with the Ice Path. The Templar Assassin has a freaking Blink Dagger right now, man. And now they're going to take not only Queen of Pain kill, but the Tier 1 tower as well. KY getting the bounty for that, so sitting up at a GPM of 447 on top of the world right now.
I mean, yeah, Templar is definitely going to be a very big threat later on. I really feel like they should start putting more resources to ganking her instead of focusing on helping the Chaos Knight, because he has a Blink Dagger and almost another 1,600 gold saved up apart from that, so it's quite a lot. We do see the Radiant team actually smoking up here, probably for a smoke gank on the bot lane, but they're going to be revealed here and now.
Prophet starting up, and Moonlight Shadow will not be enough to save him. A couple more auto attacks will finish the job, and he will. Oh no, it disjoints it because of the invisibility, and they try to purify him, but he will make it revealed. He's juking in the trees for the time being. Moogle's looking for him. Everybody's on low life, but unfortunately, Aquarium, one big blunder these past 3 Moonlight Shadows. No detection at all, no dust, no sentries. Could have really given them a few extra kills on the board, and unfortunately, they just don't have it. So yeah, look at this HP on the Chaos Knight, below 30. Yeah. And just, yeah, not very good. Arrow going on through. Rana looking for it, not going to get it. And instead, they can just IS group up as much as they want to. Nice repel from Omni Knight. Denies all that damage that was going to be forthcoming. Instead, they just want to push on this bottom tower with these Trents. And Prophet obviously adding a lot to that with the Basilius.
Definitely, I really feel like Aquarium should start to pick up some deaths now, because they know the Mirana ulti, and it always keeps on landing. The arrow actually just dispersing right before hitting anybody.
They want to go aggressive, though. They don't care about the tower. They want kills, and Sprock will actually have to disrupt himself just to stay alive. It's God's Strength plus Repelled. Now the Guardian Angel, I guess just for the AoE healing. Not really any physical damage forthcoming, but Talaria gets a nice Sonic Wave going on through, and now she's all by herself on low mana. She is able to blink on out. What's the cooldown on TA's blink? Can't even see it, but anyways, it's going to be a couple good kills from Chaos Incarnate. Now Toon's going aggressive. He still has God's Strength. A couple chops might have done it, but instead he walks away. Couldn't have gotten out of there, so I think he should have gone for it. But anyways, it's actually really good for the Dire right here. They got completely obliterated. Buyback pop by Nature's Prophet. he is popping his teleport in, but I feel KY, I don't know where he was in the team fight, but he wasn't as active as he needed to be. The tower did fall, and I believe it was in favor of the Dire, not denied, but nevertheless, it was a lot of kills lost for the Aquarium.
Yeah, I mean, KY in that team fight, for those who do not know, KY is the Templar Assassin. She was really not, I mean, she was actually active, she was just chasing the Queen of Pain around, and I guess that did not really pay off in the end because Queen of Pain ended up escaping, and, I mean, having the Templar focused on Mirana or something would have really helped out in that fight, so just, I guess, lack of judgment in that fight. We see Nature's Prophet dropping on the top lane, so.
Yep. Nice action. Chaos Bolt and Chaos Incarnate teleporting right in response to that, was able to leap, and even with the Sprout teleport attempt, was able to arrow it down and finish that off. So just good usage of the stuns and another quick pick off. So it actually puts them on the board. They were down a lot of kills until just now, and now they're only down by 2. So it's going to be kind of be coming in their direction. Check out that experience graph. Advantage of over 3,000 now dropping out to actually in favor of the Dire, and that's really, really good for them in this stage of the game, especially Chaos Knight needs some levels to get rolling because Mirana's really the level 12, and you know, Chaos Knight not doing too hot right now.
I mean, definitely. I was just looking at the Sven here. He's actually also level 8, but he is, I mean, much better farmed up. I mean, that's just really the effect of being a trial is you are just really low level. So, but interesting to see if you can actually get it up later.
I have to also comment on the synergy between Sven and the Templar Assassin. She has maxed out her meld, so that's going to be an armor reduction of 8, in conjunction with possibly the Desolator that she's going to be going for in a very short time period. That's going to be a lot of negative armor stacking up, negative 14 armor specifically, so all these heroes with low armor, Rubik only has 2, negative 12 armor is enormous for the physical damage amplification it provides. Same thing for a lot of these other heroes, Queen of Pain, and to a lesser extent Shadow Demon. Just both of them, all of them can take a heck of a lot of damage, and of course Sven doing almost entirely physical damage with that God Strength. Once he hits level 11 and the Desolator's on the board, people are just going to start melting.
Whoa! Templar doing huge amounts of damage. He's actually going to pick up a Desolator here in a few moments. She might be in a lot of trouble though.
Moonlight Shadow goes on out, again, no detection, so they pop in with a nice Nature's Prophet teleport, but actually they don't even bother committing it because of the Moonlight Shadow. But now it might be an opportunity for Dire to counter-initiate, try to pick off some out-of-position heroes, but they're all grouped up as 4 and they're going to fall back. They just know they can't take these 5v5s unless they get really good initiation, and Queen of Pain, unfortunately, because of that big meld hit, is unable to really engage in these fights. She's really low HP, and although she has the Sonic Wave available, doesn't want to just drop in only to die immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised that Aquarium has not picked up Dust yet, because I kind of feel like it's necessary when every single time they try to pick someone off, it's always because of the Moonlight Shadow that just saves them right on the edge there. So I just kind of feel like they should be going around with at least 2 or 3 people in the Dust. I mean, preferably Prophet, because he can jump into a hotspot and just pop a Dust. I mean, that's usually what you do against the adversaries, I guess. That's just seems completely logical to me, but I guess that Aquarium are holding a bit back on that sense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Nature's Prophet Dust is so very strong, teleporting wherever you want on the map with it. Moogle has picked it up, but again, he's just not been in the position that he needs to really take fight with that, and so he's been, I mean, he's been in an okay position, but it's just not where you want to pick everybody up. Nature's Prophet would be so much better in that regard.
I agree. We do see split pushing here. I mean, we do see two people from Sven bottom and people from mid dispersing. They might lose their top tower tier 2 with the enormous push from Nature's Prophet and the side blades going off on Templar Assassin. Oh, the arrow misses.
They're just going to be able to counter push that out.
Yeah. It's just, we do see just Templar Assassin and Nature's Prophet here just have such incredible ability. I mean, Templar with the Blink Dagger, Nature's with the Blink all over the map. It's just instantly ported from the top lane, pushing there directly down to the bottom lane, counter pushing there. It's just, it's almost impossible to counter that. I mean, and also in terms of, you were talking about armor reduction before. I mean, Templar is going to have her Desolator in something like, I'm guessing, a minute or 2, which is going to be even worse. And she also has a double damage rune, so the next fight might not work out in the favor of the Dire team. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we will have to see, because that is definitely what you're going to be looking at there. Yeah, I don't really know what they can do to come back into this as far as momentum goes. I mean, I don't think they're out of the game entirely, but it's going to take a long time of even exchanges to get back out on top. And right now, that's not really where they want to be at. Mirana and Chaos Knight are both very gank-oriented carries. They get a lot of farm and gold from getting the kills, or at least the assistance of their allies trying to get into that. And the drum will help a little bit with mobility, attack speed, and movement speed, things along those lines. Mirana gives them a lot of range of initiation, but they need to rely a lot on those long-range arrows in order to make some magic happen.
A mysterious force.
I definitely agree on that. Actually, not too much happening right now. I mean, no towers pushed in the last 2 or 3 minutes. No kills going out. Still at 9 and 7. So I guess people are just come over from the last team fight. Maybe they'll see a general assembly middle. Mirana still just solo farming. Going for a diffusal blade, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting.
Yep, that's a really solid pickup against the Omni, and the mana burn will be to a lesser extent irrelevant, but yeah, I think it's going to be the major aspect of the purge, being able to use those charges very effectively. I mean, TA presumably wanted to go for pretty much a BKB-less build, where she didn't have to worry about immunity. She could just jump into the fray and have that repel available on her, but of course the Diffusal Blade has other things in mind, and they might actually be able to drop her down. I believe Refraction is also dispellable, so that's a lot of instances of damage that won't be absorbed if they were able to purge that off at a early stage in it, if it has almost max stacks.
Definitely, we do see TA picking up her Desolator now, so she's going to be a true force to reckon with. Let's see if the Dire team will continue to push in middle. I think they're going to pull back. Though Rubik did manage to steal, let's see, he actually managed to steal Purification. A very strong spell in the right hands.
Most definitely. So I haven't seen too much as far as spell steals from him, and I think that's really important that he stays on the ball with that. Moonlight Shadow, are they looking to initiate with it? I mean, I can't imagine they needed it to fall back, so I think they want to jump in, but Radiant may have known about it already. There goes the telekinesis into the arrow, actually pulls him right in, so it's a very short duration stun, but at least some good action for Queen of Pain, getting a nice Sonic Wave on, going on through, but now the Guardian Angel goes across. Rubik tries to heal himself, but it's too little too late. He takes a fall. Mirana, Chaos Incarnate, out in the worst position I can possibly imagine. He's going to get dropped down from this Ice Pass in a little bit, just an auto attack or two, and in the meantime, everybody else just seems to be disengaging, and that's completely unfavorable for the Dire.
Yeah, it was a horrible fight for the Dire. Really, I noticed Mirana was actually really lucky because she blinked. Not blinked. She leapt just at the wrong time, so she basically leapt into the cliff and went down again. So she didn't have enough range for him. They're actually going to get the tier 2 tower now, which is, really bad initiation from the Dire team. In that sense, losing 3 members of the team and a tower. So let's see if they can get their momentum back.
I haven't really highlighted on this, but the Radiant have a pretty good pushing lineup as well. Aquarium have the Nature's Prophet, who has the Nature's Call, obviously getting the Trents up to tank up the tower and do some extra damage to it. Basilius providing extra armor for them, as well as the Mechanism if they need it. And then, of course, they have the Jakiro with its Liquid Fire, reducing the attack speed of the tower itself down to 30, reducing it by 30% right now. And that's really strong. So you get an auto attack on the tower, and you can burn it down really quickly with no cost, really.
I agree. They're actually going to pick up the Roshan right now and put it on Sven, it seems. Or maybe Templar.
Ooh, big arrow, but she got the Aegis before it was able to pop off, so no leap steal coming out of the Mirana. Instead, they're just all going to fall back. They wanted to see if they were doing it, and unfortunately, they were absolutely correct in that regard, but it was just moments too late, and they were able to pick up the kill for it and the Aegis. So, big on TA. 2 lives, and she's going to be doing a lot with that. Now, there was a Sprout up top, but, she has Blink. Not going to be a big deal one way or another.
I'm looking forward to seeing the next item pick up on the TA because she is extremely squishy. She's got the phase boots, so she's lying around 1,000 health. If they decide to focus her down, she will be dead in less than a second, but I just can't figure out what she's going to pick up next. I mean, she could go for something super tanky now or just keep on going for the all-out damage, so I would suggest getting tankier.
I'd love to see a Daedalus just because I want to see like a Rubik get one shot or something, but it's a little mean, but nevertheless, it's true. It's only sitting on 720 life and 2 armor. You could do it. You could do it with a good Daedalus crit.
That's actually true. Yeah, especially with the armor reduction from both Desolator and Meld, it's going to be minus 14 armor. So
there you go.
Other than that, I kind of feel like the Radiant team are playing a bit passive in that sense. They might have the most kills, but I feel like they could really use their momentum right now to push and just keep on pushing and fighting, because if they manage to get a good fight off, they could probably just push the racks. Though I could be wrong in that sense, and they want to really play passive. I kind of feel like they really have such a large advantage right here. So, but you see an arm to pick up on Sven. Not the BKB this time, despite the high amount of magic damage. I guess he's going for all-out damage as well.
Yeah, Now, one thing I really like about one thing that the Radiant team has been doing is a lot of the recent games we've seen, the Radiant have, or just in general, the teams haven't been very good at distributing their experience amongst their supports so that they can, capitalize on the fact that, Jakiro has a really good macro pyre, long, powerful stun when he gets ranked up, things along those lines. But right now, their experience distribution isn't too bad. I mean, as far as experience in general, they have quite a bit of an advantage. But the fact of the matter is, you're not looking at like level 7 supports. You're looking at level 9s and moving up towards level 10 and 11. So you're actually going to see, at a reasonable pace, some good ultimates coming out of the supportive heroes, as well as the hard carries.
Definitely. I mean, right now we just take a look at the graphs here. We do see Templar Lion at 500 GPM more or less, Prophet right around 400, and Sven right around 325. So you actually see that all the 3 top members of GP, the highest members of GPM, they're all on the Radiant side. Of course, that leads to the obvious advantage they have in both hero levels and experience. So.
I'm curious to see what they could do with Moonlight Shadow as far as initiation. Jakiro getting... mixing up teams, sorry. But Moonlight Shadow going in, Rubik could get in a good position, get a good telekinesis out, but it's only rank 1, so even the AoE stun after the fact is only going to be 1 second long. I don't think Moonlight Shadow is really an initiator tool. They've been using it as an escape, and I think that's really the only option, because they don't have like a Tidehunter or something to follow it up. But at least a little bit of exchange, Tier 1 and Tier 2. Wow, KY going really aggressive inside the base, and yeah, it's working out pretty well for them. He goes on through, gets the refraction up, and now he's going to drop down though, most likely. He will do a little bit of damage in return, but he may have just wasted that Aegis and may drop down again. He's going to try to pop off the blink as fast as possible. He does get the blink out.
Whoa.
Wow, really, really clutch there.
In the meantime, we actually see his team just taking the racks. That's actually a really good split push maneuver. Wow. Fantastic team fight for the Radiant team right there. Fantastic initiation.
Yeah, now starting things up. I mean, the stun actually hits on the Chaos Knight, which puts him in a terrible spot right here. He just walked into a big hammer to the face. And now the trap, they're trying to slow him down to finish the job, but they're just going to, finish off the racks. They've already taken the melee down, and the range as well will be easy work. Now that the backdoor protection is down, they could actually be looking to transition towards the middle. I don't like that fortification pop at all. Except they're not following up on it, I guess because of the siege creeps there. So the range creep is going to drop down. I was just saying they could use the fortification so much more so on the middle lane. But in the end, it's actually going to be some more counter initiation than I thought they were done. Obviously, they had other plans in mind as Sven goes in to get a kill of his own. Killing spree for him.
Definitely, just great initiation by the Radiant team, great follow-ups, everything right now. Whoa!
Wow.
Doing so much damage.
Yeah, I don't even need to call that. It speaks for itself, just watching it, just obliterating the health pools. And yeah, it's really good. A nice blink to follow it up. Obviously, 1 hit from death made sure that was down to 0. And 0 hits from death is going to be what they're looking for, as they're leading at 18-7. It's going to be a good game call pretty shortly. They might not be able to take this Tier 3, though, with God Strength the most recently popped, so they want to commit to it. And yeah, he's going in, Stormhammer, a couple chops to bring down Talera really quickly. He's going to blink out, Chaos Incarnate, not able to bring down Toons as he's healed up by the Omni Knight. Repel expires on KY, though he will get a big stun coming on through, 4-second stun, overextended completely, and Macro Pyre does pop off, but they're just going to walk right on around it. Talera is not done, trying to pursue Mug, does bring him down with the Reality Rift as well. Nice heal going on to Sven. He does get disrupted up, though. With that range of initiation I was talking about, they are able to follow up on this, chase him down, and pick up a couple of kills for their greediness.
Yeah, they did overextend a little bit there, Radiant team, though. Oh, nice arrow blocking the Jakiro right before he got out there. Yeah, we do see, I was actually expecting GGs to be called out there, but I guess they only lost 2 racks, so it's not completely over yet. We do see the Templar Assassin fighting back immediately and going for the Daedalus. So, it's going to be interesting to see them getting one-shotted. She's going to have such a high damage output now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Other than that, looks like the Dire team are mobilizing for a counteroffensive in the middle here. Let's see if they actually follow through with it.
I think they could take the Tier 1 with the fortification down. They have enough people already on top of it. I don't think it would be wise for the Radiant to try to stop it. So let them have the tower and then just win the fight after the fact. Interesting little sprout. Reality Rift on the illusions, I guess. That's kind of silly. Oh wow, the arrow did lock down on Asia Prophet though. He really doesn't have any way of getting out of there. 4-second stun. That's going to possibly secure his death, but that's odd. He was repelled and stunned by the Chaos Bolt. I'm not sure if there's a different magic.
I think he got repelled right after the The bolt hit him.
So it doesn't dispel it, huh? I actually did not know about that mechanic. That's very interesting.
And it's actually weird. It should actually dispel it. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I noticed it as well, but didn't think more of it. We will have to check.
Well, it does have a red outline that's similar to like how demonic purge works and things like that. You can't be immune to that, so maybe it does not dispel, and that's just a specific mechanic of that. It is a magical damage and magic target point, but there's lots of little nuances in the game. You learn something new every day, and it's just a little mechanical, different ways that each spell interacts. But nice little pick off on Mirana, as she was just, you know, obviously in the middle of nowhere in the Radiant base or forest. So, not going to be able to get out of there, and that leaves the racks very, very much exposed. Not going to be looking at Roche for another 3 minutes, so they just want the racks. And with this 40-second time period, I think they can really manage it. So Rubik getting the best spell steal in the game, picking up the Sprout so he can drop trees wherever the hell he wants.
Okay, we do actually see that Queen of Pain picking up a Scythe of Ice could do a potential large difference in the team fight if she actually manages to stay alive long enough. Yeah, and the racks are going to drop down. It's going to be very hard for the Radiant Dire team to come back from.
Immediate disruption from Sprock. He just doesn't want to die. There's the one shot. He obviously wasn't on full life, so not at 100%, but nevertheless, it was a lot of damage. And he just disrupted the second he saw the PA coming. Nevertheless, TA, sorry. That's what acronym. Tunes in the action, though. He really wants to go aggressively here. Pop the God Strength off, but has gotten arrowed up. Nice Guardian Angel. Possibly going to keep him alive through all that. Yeah, the Purification going to ensure that. Now the Sprout comes out from the Rubik as well as the Nature's Prophet. Trees everywhere. Forest spontaneous, but Mug going to be able to magic immune. Not enough as he drops down to the physical damage. Auto attacks come on through, but, you know, 4 racks are down. It's kind of goofing around now. The momentum is all in favor of the Radiant, but they are throwing a lot of deaths here. And TA is going to be taking a lot of damage. She will try to meld. Gets Reality Rifted up. She's going to take a fall most likely. The Refraction does come out. That's 2 more instances. Nah, she's definitely going to drop down. Moogle as well. Tries to TP out, but he's just going to drop down the damage before he gets the chance to do so. Lolcat's the only one who escapes.
That was actually quite interesting. I mean, we have not really seen the Chaos Knight do much all game, but he actually was kicking their asses pretty hard there. I mean, the Phantasm just dealing so immense damage, and on the run, he just keep on stunning them. But I mean, I still think the game is pretty much over in the sense that the Dire team lost 4 racks or 2 sets of racks, and actually are losing their last middle tower now. The creeps are going to go in for the push, so it's going to be really hard to defend for them.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, every single one of the Dire team is just really, really low on gold. They're just begging for coins at this point, because you're looking at, like, Shadow Demon has 141 GPM, Rubik 166. Even the Queen of Pain, who we've been seeing do so well in every single game prior to this, is actually sitting at only 308. In the 31-minute mark, she can farm very aggressively, and she has picked up her Scythe, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, she's only sitting at 1100 HP. That's like, you know, 2 Templar Assassin auto attacks at this stage.
I did not actually see it, the Scythe going off that fight.
I think she
On the other hand, I did actually see how useful the Omni actually was. I mean, that ulti going off at the right time. Well, maybe not the right time, but at least a good time, and just keeping that Sven alive for at least a few seconds longer. He didn't eventually die though, but that was that was pretty cool. I mean, he kept him alive.
Yeah, kept that in the action there. Rank 2. Lasts for 6 seconds of physical damage immunity. Pretty much just gives him like 999 armor. So
yeah,
they're gonna be looking for Roche though.
They are. And with that Roche kill, I think it's probably going to be game over for the Dire team. I don't see them getting back from that, but let's have a look.
I want to see Jakiro pick it. Nah, they're gonna play serious. They're gonna get TA 2 lives out of that, and she's such a glass cannon, it helps out anyways.
It really does. She's all about the damage, though. She is probably going to pick up a BKB now.
Now, BKB has been picked up on CK. Do you feel that if he had gotten that like 10 minutes sooner, that this would be a different game right now?
I mean, honestly, completely. I mean, if they'd averted the loss of the last 2 team fights, not losing their racks, I mean, a completely different game. I mean, he is such a strong carry. His Phantasms can really wreak havoc, especially to low HP targets like TA. I mean, if she gets caught out of place, she can die in less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. But
big initiation in the bot lane.
Yeah, they really wanted to go aggressively on this, but it's just too much damage, too many items, and they're going to be able to drop down really quickly. Nice Sprout, but the leap will go on through. Now, Rubik looks kind of silly with the God Strength, but he's going to get one shot, so no matter how much auto attack damage you deal, you can get burned down really quickly. Nice 4-second stun going down on the Tempo Assassin. Again, Repel not dispelling that, so going to be fortunate for him. Traps him up, though, slow down, and holy crap. Ultra kill for KY.
I did not expect him to go. And the GG's.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, that was very awesome. You want to close this out, man?
Yeah, no, I mean, that was a great game. We do see this signals the end of the semifinals for the It's Gosu Dota 2 Amateur Arena, and the winners are Aquarium Gaming. So we're going to see them moving on against, I believe it's Team Hungry Magikarp.